Welcome to Radio Search Bar podcast. We're here with the famous, in some parts of Ireland, some people know him, some people don't. For the people that know him, he's very, very well known. Phil Sutcliffe. I'm up in Crumlin Boxing Club this evening. We're just going to do a short interview and get a few thoughts with Phil about the situation that's going on in Ireland at the moment in relation to all the protesting and things like that. Maybe another day we might get to go into the background of your boxing and stuff like that. I'd love to talk to you about that for a while, but that's a long conversation. You were at the protest on the weekend, Phil. Can you talk to us about that?
I was happy with the turnout, but not very happy. I say there was only about 5,000 people, maybe 6. I know the media, the local media or RTE media said there was about 800 or 900, but if you look at the amount, there was about 5,000-6,000 people there, easy.
Yeah.
And it was a very family organised, only organised by the Rings End. I heard Rings End says no, and then the rest was done by Facebook and social media. And it was a fantastic turnout for just done on the phone. There was a few major parties. There was people there from Donegal. Now, when I say major parties that are going for election, Freedom Ireland, there's a few of them there, there's a few a few independents, right? And they were asking for people to go forward for to represent their communities. And I say they got a few there because the attitude and the atmosphere was very positive. Lots of things in the crowd were being spoken to. There was great speakers there, people from Cork, people from Belfast, people from Scotland. Man Robinson was there, he spoke very well, and a few other speakers that I can't think of their names now. Yeah. But it was a fantastic. We were very proud to be marching. Children, mammies, daddies, boys and girls. You know, carrying flags, being patriotic for their own country. There was all sorts of colours there as well. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that are in the country long enough to say they weren't all Irish that were protesting, which was fantastic. I had a Greek fella with me here from the club. He doesn't agree what's going on. I had a Spanish fella that doesn't agree what's going on. I had a French fella who naturally doesn't agree what's going on. I had a couple of farmers that train here that they don't agree what's going on. There's lots of things that's happening, and not only in Ireland, but Ireland first, right? We have to deal with our own problems first before we can deal with anybody else's. And our government seems to want to save the world, bringing people in from everywhere. And a lot of Algerians, a lot of African countries coming in where there's no war. And there are people coming from Ukraine where they wouldn't see a war. I mean, they're coming over here, they're staying, they're getting handouts, they're getting more handouts than soldiers that served in the army for 25, 30 years. Free medical cards, free food, free accommodation. Lots of different things were spoke about. And it's on everybody's minds now what's going on in this government. Their government are telling us lies, blatant lies.
Well, I think if you look at any of the politicians that speak, and there's very few of them, but they all seem to me to have this air of deception about them. I don't know if you, but that's the feeling I get from them.
In deception by telling lies.
As in the way they talk, just the way they talk. Some of them I feel like, you know, Roderick O'Gorman, Leo Varadkar, there's just a sense of, to me anyway, a sense of, well, you know, I'm not really just buying this, what he's saying to me, because usually they're talking about something that's a major issue to the people at the moment, and they're just sweeping it under the carpet saying, no, that's not really that important. It's not a big issue. Where it's a huge issue. It's, you know, one of the things that people might have been protesting about over the weekend, like the amount of the asylum seekers. So this national immigration is coming in over the last couple of months and years.
It's terrible. It's like I'm not against people coming into Ireland. No way. But the amount of people coming into Ireland, and the amount of people that's coming into Ireland with no identity. I still know if you'd be alive today if that chap that killed her, right, was sent home. He was self-deport. He's supposed to self-deport. Export himself from the country. Nobody checked it up. And the person that tried to murder them kids and that nanny up in Parnell Square, he was the same. The government, and you tell that to the parents of those people. The government are telling us plain lies. They're not doing their job correctly, and it's simple and it's honest, right? And it's been seen. Those 2 gay men that got their heads cut off, right? That's all. And they're talking about people going down the street. You're not broken, or you're not locked up for not calling a boy a girl. All of these topics.
20 days. Yeah, I heard as well that they brought those I think 20 or 30 people that went to go over the weekend part of that protest.
I was speaking to them afterwards.
Yeah,
I was speaking to 10 of them afterwards.
Am I correct in saying this? When I heard a report there today that a small group that went to go down to have vigil outside Mountjoy, and they were blocked, and some of them were arrested by the Gardaí for just going down. They were making causing no violence. There was no incident at all, and then they were jumped on by the Gardaí. About 11 people, I think, were arrested.
I didn't see anyone being arrested. Right? I seen it on footage. I see it on footage on the camera, on the Facebook and whatever, on the social media. Now I seen the Garda. Now I worked with the Garda all my life. I've been to America with the Garda a couple of times through the boxing. Yeah. But like there was some very good Garda there, but there was a lot of Garda there that were trying to intimidate some of the supporters.
Where is that coming from, Phil? Like,
I have to come from the top.
Yeah.
They didn't want to walk down that street past. There was about 200 people there protesting against air protests, right, with the LSBG and all different types of people that were there, coloured hair, yellow hair, blue hair, right, roaring and screaming at us, right. I told the people, just march by, ignore them. But we would have ignored them. The fella that organised, one of the fellas that organised the show, can't think of his name now, he was going to turn off before they came to the GPO.
Yeah.
And go down the street. We didn't want to march by them.
I hear about this.
You know what I mean? And the guard said, no, you have to, and it came from the top. But they have to be the top. The government has to be the top. Well, they want to see trouble. They want to tarnish the normal Joe soaps, the people that want things to change in our country, in all of the country.
Yeah.
From Donegal to Belfast, from Belfast to Dublin to Roscommon to Roscrea to Waterford to Wexford to Arklow. Everybody in this country is up against too much immigration, people coming in without papers. How the hell can you go travel all around the world 3 or 4 times? How can you get into any country without a passport? Yeah. You have Roderick O'Gorman given it in 20 odd different languages. Even in India, it's in one of the Indian presses. Yeah. You know, the newspapers, they're advertising to relocate in Ireland and you get so much money, right? I don't know what they're doing, but there's something going on.
I seen a thing there where they were promoting the Western Islands, and they're giving them something like, I don't know, don't quote me on this, but somewhere in the region of about 10 grand per couple to emigrate out to the Western Islands. Like how
I heard it's 190 odd grand. Now, don't quote me on that either, but I heard a lot more than 10 grand, because you're not going to do nothing about 10 grand. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know. I
had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and he's Indian, moved over here a couple of years ago, bought a house himself and his wife, and they're in the, as he tells me, they're in the process of starting a family, whatever that means, you know. But he said to me that I was doing some work in his house, and he said, you know, he asked me, what do you think of all that's going on now with the immigration and all this sort of stuff? And I said, well, sure, look, I grew up in Ireland where there was none of this sort of stuff. Everything was fairly straightforward, and all of a sudden now this is like there was only one black fella ever in Trim for a long time.
Yeah,
right. Neil Lacey was his name, and I remember my mother telling me, like, for years and years and years, go back in the 50s. I think 70s, whatever it was. But that was now. Look, so now it's completely different now, you know. But the thing is, as you said, if I go to Australia or I go to Portugal or America or wherever it is, I can't go in there without having all my T's crossed. I have to have a background check. When I went to Australia, I had to have a police check, a police certificate, to make sure that I hadn't any crimes or
I saw much money before you went into the country. Yeah, we saw I
had to have an address where I was going, a certain amount of money in the bank and everything like that, to make sure that I wasn't going to be a burden on the state when I come in. Now these people coming in, we have no idea if they have any previous convictions, whether they're murders, rapes, whatever they are. Like we don't know what they are. But what they're doing is they're bringing people in the middle of the night, blacked out buses, with no background, no nothing, and as you said earlier on, with bags that are unchecked. They're coming in, they're chartering these planes coming in from African countries. I've seen videos on this where there've been personal reports of some of the staff on the ground staff in Dublin Airport, where they've seen these aircraft coming in from their origins, where some of the countries in Central and South Africa, loaded off the tarmac onto a bus, bus was blacked out, and I wish down the country somewhere. And God knows where they've gone to and what's going on. Now, that's just pure madness.
That's wrong. It's very wrong. Like, people, look at the danger they're putting in people, even for one person, like Aisling Murphy, that was out running, school teacher, giving to society, right? Her life, but she'd be still alive. Only for our government bringing that person, not even if it's only one. Her life, and her family, and her background, her boyfriend, her mother, her father, her sisters, she's gone.
That man had Joseph Puska was his name. He had previous in the country where he came from, which was Slovakia. You know, if the procedure was put in place in Ireland similar to Australia, he would have been stopped before he came in. So that crime would have been prevented if they had that system. And generally, for example, the Indian guy I was talking to, he had to go through that check system. He had to provide his education and all this sort of stuff.
But that's okay. That would be okay, because he's going by the rules that were made. He had to say who he was, what he's doing. He's coming in to relocate from a certain country, right? Naturally, they hope he's getting all that money, right? You have to be bringing something.
Oh, he must know that the airlines. He's a Maynooth or someplace like that. He had to come in and
he had to go to Maynooth first, did he?
No, he rented a Maynooth and then he ended up buying a house there. But he got a job, worked his way up, paid a bit of rent, and then eventually got to buy a house.
Come here, I have no problem with anything like that, right? I have a problem with the government, right, bringing unvetted people, right? I have a problem bringing in so many people where I done a trolley for 4 days, a good few times, right, in James's hospital. My mother was on the trolley for 4 and 5 days, which there was no beds. And if you bring in people to our country where we can't facilitate our own, like between doctor's appointments, dental appointments, hospital appointments, and that had been going on well before this. Before Rodrigo Gorman. That had to be planned. Right, Rodrigo Gorman, Leo Varadkar, right? Those people are not doing our country any good. None of them people, right? None of the government that's in, they weren't even voted in. It was a party that was brought in as a coalition. You know what I mean? The people did not vote in for one party, Fine Gael, Fine Gael. And now even our independents are backing them up. Sinn Féin is even backing them up, right? They're not going against immigration. All of these things. So there's something wrong big, right?
Yeah, but I think there has to be some element of deep corruption at the back. But because I thought about this for a long time, and some of these people that are in government are family men, you know, have children and stuff like that. And I thought to myself, well, if I was in their position and I was allowing this and creating this to happen on a massive scale, then, you know, as a father, there's some of these men and women, or mothers or whatever it is, then what
politicians,
what it's in the background would allow them or you know, motivate them to do that. But there has to be some sort of deep corruption or control.
From deep corruption, control of money are bought off. Now you have to be saying the way it is, and then and that's the average person on the street. Why would he do such a thing? Would he do it? Where's our moral standards that he gone down?
It doesn't make sense at all unless they had. It makes sense if they were corrupted at a core deep level.
Or are the bosses of the parties, or the head of the parties being corrupted and it's fizzling down, right? Or all these NGOs that are getting paid for I don't know what, and we've so many NGOs over here in this country.
I know there was a Fianna Fáil TD there a while ago and spoke up against the immigration policy. I think it was a rally somewhere, whatever it was. He spoke up about it and he just said, look, if this is not, I can't do this. And he was excommunicated out of the party straight away. Now, I can't come up with his name. And
we'll point out their play for
what that was about, if memory serves right, about maybe 6 weeks ago, at a gathering in a community, I think it was in Louth, and he spoke up and he said, I agree with everybody 100%. What's going on here with the immigration and all these guys coming in totally out of order, and it's madness because in the long term. And there's another thing I wanted to say to you as well. All these places that they're bringing these asylum seekers into, and the migrants, they're exempt from planning, right?
So they're
exempt from planning.
What does that mean?
It means that if I have a shed down in Belive or wherever, down the Bob, wherever it is, and it can come out, you know, that I used to have maybe now a cow shed or something like that.
You can
I can make very minor adjustments to that place, and I can.
They're being let in under, and they're being let in under any cost. I know all of this is what we're speaking about. It's hiding the fact what we should have been speaking about before, when they were trying to poison us with the COVID jab. This now, you have man Eamon McGrath in the Dáil brought it up there a few weeks ago, and a few other PDs. They want an independent inquiry. See, it's all going in, and like they're still pushing the COVID jab on people. Yeah. Like they pushed on children where it's already now. Thank God it's out in the open. That the lies the people were telling, the government were telling lies, our government was telling lies, all governments in Europe are telling lies.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. So there is something big out there. But as I said, let's deal with our own people. Our government told us lies about the COVID. They pushed the COVID on children. They pushed the COVID on the army. Some of the kids that are in the army here, they had to join out to go overseas. And this COVID jab that they proven, they had to take it to go overseas. Some of the nurses had to take it.
My brother was living in Geneva, and he had to take the jab to come over here to visit his family. And my mother passed away at the time, but in order for him to get back for the funeral, he had to take the jab. He didn't want to take the jab.
No.
And me and my wife, we were planning to have a baby at the time.
Yeah.
And the way we looked at it was, if there was any chance, above 1% of a chance that vaccine may interfere in us having a baby or anything like that, then we weren't going to take that chance. Yes. And that was the reason why we decided not to take the
good man.
And we were strong for that because, mathematically, probably there was a higher risk of taking that job because it wasn't.
And it's proven now that the amount of mass deaths that's going on now, and they're saying it's COVID jab, not the COVID itself, right? Mm-hmm. And you had a better chance. I got COVID twice. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even know I had it once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like lots of people had it. I'm not saying people weren't sick with it. Like lots of people are sick with flu and eczema, asthma, and the whole lot, right?
Yeah.
But like the people, there's so many people dying now at a certain age. In Kerry alone, wherever that McGrath was talking about, and all these other places.
Yeah.
So there's no record of it. They're not keeping a record of it, right, which is very wrong. But it's suiting the government again, right? That's the government that's suiting them, and they're supposed to work for the people that put them into power. It's the people that voted them in.
Yeah.
So if we do end up going for politics, as TDs or councillors or the people that are going, the amount of people that wanted to go forward, and most of the people wanted to come for the same reason we wanted to. We are not happy with the way our government that was put in to govern for the people.
Yeah.
Right? Which are not governing for the people. By putting killers. Now, they're not all killers, but they're saying one or two that they're doing damage. Yeah. And there's always not being reported in town. The amount of stabbings, your people walking up to O'Connell Street and I knew it. You don't see it on RTE. You don't see about the stabbings on RTE. You don't see about people being shoved into the liffey on RTE. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if you go into O'Connell Street today, or even up Parnell Square, right? Yeah. It's like being in Africa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You fellas going there, you went for a cup of coffee in town, right? You have 10 fellas sitting around a coffee. And I don't know why the owner doesn't tell them to get out. You know what I mean? There's not only one fella drinking a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I've been in town a few times, and I'm afraid of nothing. But it's scary now going in at night time.
You're what I would call you anyway is a true and true dub. And say in terms of the city centre, you would have been in there as a kid and over the years. Now I noticed I'd been going up to the city centre from when I was about 14. We used to go up to the arcades there on Collins Street and things like that. And go for a bit of sightseeing and maybe go out for pints some nights, whatever it is.
Oh well, I'm not 14. You wouldn't drink on me anyway.
I went and it was fun. I didn't know it was fun. But anyway, the thing is that I noticed in the last 3 months going up here, say now in around 3 months, right? I went up there to Mullen Sports to get some box gloves. As I walked down Capel Street, I could notice it straight away. I could feel this different vibe about the place. Do you know what I mean? There was just a different vibe to the place. There was a lot of sort of foreign lads around the place. Now I wouldn't say any, but there was just a different, darker vibe to the place.
It's a big difference. It's a big difference. The amount, it's spotty Irishman now in town. Like people are actually afraid now to go to the city centre.
Yeah.
Right, and the shopkeepers should be feeling because unless the migrants are getting enough money to buy stuff, right? But the thing is, this people are actually right now. This is why you have the uproar in Ringsend and uproar in Gardner Street and because they see it. They live around that area.
Yeah.
Right, they can't get houses for their own children. You have men and young women sleeping on their couches, they're speaking in the spare room of their family's house, right? And it's absolutely terrible. And there's no chance of getting on the economic ladder to buy a house.
But
You know what I mean? Normally you need, there was a 1/3 of a house, I'm not sure now. Right, don't quote me on that. 20%, right? All these countries would know what. Right? So, right, that's where you'd need to buy a house. But nobody is getting on the housing ladder now.
Yeah.
Right, and it's sad.
But how frustrating must it be for a parent or any parent that has the kids there, you know, growing into the 30s and 40s, living in the house, so frustrated trying to figure out a way to try and get them on a property ladder, and they themselves trying to figure out a way to do it, not to be a burden of their own parents. I'm sure that's the way a lot of them are thinking. And then you see these guys coming in from Ukraine, guys coming in from wherever it is. Oh, they set them up in the house. There they are. That's grand. Put them in whatever this temporary combination is. But most of it, from what I've seen, is a very, very high standard. You know, they're building these pods and stuff like that are a very, very high standard. Now, if you had a regular Irish couple that were in their early 20s that were given this kind of accommodation for a certain period of time with a very low rent, that would easily allow them.
Well, I'm mad how they're able to bring it in so quick for them.
Oh yeah,
and they could not bring it in so quick when there's one of the major problems in this country was housing, and they couldn't bring it in for our own people. And this is why people are getting mad. This is why people are out there, Dubliners, Wexforders, Galway, Donegals. They're seeing this happening and seeing our own people left behind. Right, they're bastardising our country. They want to take everything away from us. The Irishness of the Irish.
Yeah.
And we are Irish, and we want to keep our Irish. That's why so many foreigners came in, holiday makers came in and enjoyed themselves in Ireland. Yeah. Right, and came for the crack and the thing and the banter and the thing. And as you know, with some of the banter we have now, if you bring in this hate speech law, the banter has gone. They want that. Our government wants that. If I look at you wrong, that's a hate speech. But who's going to define it? They can't even define it themselves.
And the other thing as well is, like, from a point of view of that hate speech law, how are they going to attempt to try and police that and police everything else at the same time? It's going to put an unimaginable strain on the whole Garda force, and that's just a logical conclusion.
Well, I feel sad for some of the Garda at the moment myself, for the amount of work, and that's why I can't understand. Now, our Garda Commissioner is an ex-RUC man. He swore allegiance to the Queen. You know what I mean? Now he's the head of our own police force. Now, how could he swear allegiance to the Queen and now change his allegiance?
Actually, I'm sure you have some friends, close friends, that would be members of the Guards.
Loads of friends, members of the Guards.
What would they say to you?
A lot of them think it's wrong as well. A lot of them think it's wrong. They're going along with the narrative of that's my job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, they still think it's wrong. A lot of Irish soldiers think it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some of the barracks is being used for... Why wouldn't they use for the homeless? They did use some of the barracks for homeless to feed them and not time. They used St. Bricken's Hospital at one time. I think they brought in the homeless.
I thought a lot about the homeless situation. At the moment, it's 13,000. They say around 13,000 people homeless in Ireland. Now, you could put them into different groups of people, as in people that are drug addicts, people that have, you know, lost their houses through evictions or whatever it is, and, you know, compartmentalised
mental health as well.
Mental a big thing as well, yeah. But for the resources that's after been put into these migrants coming in, if there was, I would say, 10% of that funding put across the board into the homeless situation, it'd be solved.
If they put an effort in, then if they put an effort in the same, if they put a quarter of the effort in that was put into bringing in these migrants, right, with no passports, with no thing, right, they say they're fleeing war, all in Gucci jackets and all with mobile phones and all. Some of them are driving, some of these immigrants are driving around in fancy cars, right? Now, not them all now. Yeah. There is genuine people coming in from war zones. There is genuine people.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I'd like, if they're coming in playing, let them play, let's make them welcome.
Yeah.
Right? Well, let's not be putting 10 in or 20 in a 10 people house.
Yeah.
Let's put them up right, but not people that not fleeing. Some people are coming to 5 and 6, 7 countries just to get here because of our welfare system.
Yeah.
And that's wrong. But our government is not policemen. If the amount of police that was in O'Connell Street there, what half of them on?
How many police was there roughly there the weekend?
Roughly, there must have been about 500 policemen.
Right.
You know what I mean? 500 and all different things. On horseback and all. You know what I mean?
There.
Horses there.
Like you, the whole lot.
No, some of them were in the normal gear, some of the policemen were in the normal gear, some of them were in the riot gear, some of them were a little bit heavy handed. I mean, you see what it's not the video. Some of them are too heavy handed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're there the police force. Yeah. Right? Right, the police, right. Some of them had balaclavas. What's the policeman wearing a balaclava for? You know what I mean? You know, they don't need to wear a balaclava. You know what I mean? Like if a policeman's supposed to give you his numbers, right? Like they're there for their safety.
Yeah.
Right? Now, what safety were they there on that march? Well, we didn't even want to work for us. Yeah, they're supposed to be working for us. Right? They're the police force for the people of Ireland.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that, you know, as I said to you there before, the resources that's been completely mismanaged for all these immigrants coming in, if some of that stuff was pushed over to the homeless situation in Ireland, I think there could be a great thing done. But this is going on now for the homeless thing is a problem in Ireland now for the last major problem for the last 15 to 20 years. And the same government more or less have been in charge over that period of time. The same people have passed through the ranks, swapped over ministerial roles from housing to whatever it is, justice, whatever it is. Same thing. There's obviously not a will. There's not the slightest bit of a will to make any change in that whatsoever.
There's no effort being put in on our own situation, right? It's the same as the farmers, and we could go on the farming situation. Do you want us to kill so many cows? And your man
cut the herd back to
ridiculous as well, right? But you're private planes for these WHO meetings after burning more gasoline or more than all the cows in the world. You know what I mean?
I was down in a place called Crumlin in County Offaly today, right? And down there they have a massive power station, right? Here's a good one for you. Now they've stopped cutting the turf in the bog, which was that power station was originally built to run on the turf right beside it, which is fair enough. Now they've diversified and they've put in wind turbines around it. That's fair enough. What they're doing now is they're importing timber chips from the Amazon, right, which is the lungs of the planet, to run that place. Now, to me, that's fucking daft.
But that's hypocritical. That's hypocritical. If we're gonna leave, if the ozone is not going to be over here and it's going to be over here, like the cows, do you want to bring in beef from somewhere else? Yeah. Do you want to bring in chicken from somewhere else? Yeah. What about our own chicken? We should be self-sufficient in our own country, or our spuds, or carrots, or onions, or maybe not tomatoes, but they can build greenhouses.
One thing I learned over the COVID situation was we produce our own toilet paper.
Yeah.
You know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we produced our own toilet paper because there was nearly anarchy over toilet paper on the stage in the supermarkets. But in that situation there at Clumperlow, you imagine they're cutting down the tree in the Amazon, they're chipping it over there, they're putting it into a container, they're putting it onto a ship, they're shipping it over to Dublin, they're driving it down to Offaly, and then they're chucking it into the Oak and Burn.
To make that.
Do you know what I mean?
Right, and they don't want cars going into the city, and they don't like okay, they could have a few free cars on the bus zones, right? But if you want deliveries, you have to get a loading bay for, because businesses need their materials sent to them, right?
Yeah.
Right. But to drive around the city now, it's nearly impossible as well, right? And then the minister of the Health Party, Green Party, what's his name? Fell asleep. Eamon Ryan, right? He wants to get charged more for the thing, and we're not getting charged enough just to go into town. I wanted to put up the meters, going to try and stop the people going in. But you're going into town, and it'll be a nice day. You want to go in and have a cup of coffee. You want to go on just to make a change.
Did you see that statement he came out with there a while ago, where he wants people in rural towns across the country to carpool to get to where they want to go? So they can reduce the
and then you have to wait. Imagine all the trouble that would cause. I'm not going there. I might go there. I might go there.
Rural towns don't really get on anyway. Do you know?
I didn't know that.
They'd
be getting on more for all these immigrants going down to them now. You're right, they want to get on.
You have two lads fighting in the stadium tonight.
I have two lads fighting in the stadium.
And what are how's your hopes? Who are fighting? Any fight Irish guys?
They're fighting, Dublin boys. The Dublin Championships for the All-Irelands. And if the boys win, one of them's through to the All-Irelands already. He won them last year. That makes them automatically through for this year. But Phelan, one of the boys out, didn't win. Mm-hmm. So she's fighting a good fight tonight to try and get them through to the All-Ireland.
Okay.
Then,
what is the round structure for that?
Much round 3 2-minute rounds.
3 2-minute rounds.
Yeah.
You're obviously awful.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell them, that was them ringing me there earlier on. But I'll give them a ring now and see what they did.
And you're heading off to, where's your next trip now?
Well, I hope to be going to Russia on I think it's the 12th to the 14th.
That's with the national team, is it?
No. This is with a professional Sean Turner.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to fly over there just to get a visa to go over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you have to go through the rigmarole to get the visas.
Start
the job.
Yeah.
You're in there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, well, you're not getting into Russia without a passport. I was there a few times, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What's it like?
It's nice. It's different there. When I was there in the 80s, and when I boxed in the Olympics in 1980, and it was very different, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, but then I was only young and free. I was there again in 86. I was there again now this year with last year, 2022 with the Army, the World Military Championships, and like, it's completely different. It's like it's like New York, you know. It's all right. Yeah. So the mod cons, with all the stuff now, all the stuff, and it's nice, and people are like, I didn't see a pro person.
What are the fighters like?
Fighters in Russia are always good. Yeah. The fighters in Russia are always good.
Tough.
Yeah, they're tough. They're ready, prepared, they're well looked after. In the amateurs, the pros now are well looked after as well. Russia's it's a nice country to visit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's different. You know what I mean?
What part do you go? Is it Moscow?
Moscow, yeah.
All the time Moscow.
Yeah, nearly all the time in Moscow. We travelled out to see Leningrad one time, right? But it was nice. But Moscow is a bigger town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Huge. It's like New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Taxes are cheap enough as well.
Is there a difference in when you're preparing the boxers here? Is there a difference in the way that it's colder over there? The different stuff.
If you train in a warm gym, it'd be, you know what I mean. So you're not going anywhere cold.
Yeah, I mean, the arena that the fighting is going to be.
Yeah. It's got like you're central heating no matter where you go there in the winter time in Russia. Yeah. I mean, so it's nearly similar to fighting here. I mean, no different. No, you have a mindset.
Yeah.
No different. I had a fighter there yesterday. He's boxing the Stranger Cup, it's called. He got beaten by a 4-1 the majority of the decision. It was a close fight now. He's only a new lad. He's only with me 18 months, but he's going for the Olympic qualifiers now in Milan.
Right.
In actually next month. The end of this month and next month, yeah. Because I hope to go up to watch him.
How many have you got here in the club?
We have over 100 members.
Oh, yeah.
We're over 100 members. Yeah.
How old is the gym?
The gym is going since Crumlin Gym. It's gone since 1932, in the early 30s, even earlier than 32. In the early 30s, now it used to be owned by the Imperial Tobacco Company, Clare Wills. That was up the other end. This place got built about 40 odd years ago. This place here, right. And I only took over it. I used to be in Drimna for 22 years, so I only took over this gym in 1992. Myself, Stephen Cabinet.
Is that still going to check to see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stephen, I know, no problem. Stephen Cabinet, Paddy Brady, myself, Gary Griffin, my brother, my mother, we all from up to all that stuff, because I left Drumna, and after my crew won the gold medal in 1992, I knew it was my time to leave, and we started here, and we won Irish titles every year except for the 2 COVID years when there was no championships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we're a very successful club. We're most nice. We're a very community-based club.
Yeah.
We've all sorts here.
Yeah.
Lots of immigrants here.
Well, I just when I went to the toilet there, I just threw my eye across the guys that were training, some of the girls there training, and all shapes and sizes.
All shapes and sizes.
Oh, what is that? The training? Not just a regular training.
With them, right? That's the senior class. Senior being over an age bracket.
Yeah.
But I'd say only about 12 of them young daughters out there. About 12 of them box. The rest of them are trying to box.
Okay.
Trying to get into box. Learn how to box. And some of them will never box. You better not say this, but some of them will never box. But some of them will box, and some of them will go to the
It's always good for an effort.
Yeah, well, like as I said, it's community based. We're well structured, but we're keeping a lot of kids right off the streets. So I mean, a lot of adults off the streets. There's loads of problems around this area. Drugs is becoming an epidemic here. If you see all the signs out there, drugs free, just like GA club, terrible. The cocaine that they're taking out of this country. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How have you seen that change over the last 20 years?
Big time. It's like going into O'Connell Street. 20 years ago in the O'Connell Street, you'd get a mixture of the country fellas coming up, the country girls coming up. But now it's like Beirut.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all sorts.
Right, it's like that vibe I said here, no, you're just not getting that.
You're not getting that vibe. No, the vibe is not there. You know what I mean?
The sense of Molly Malone and all that sort of history, heritage there, is very diluted if it's
they don't want
it all anymore.
No, it should. This other thing we didn't talk about: girl, boy, child, mother, or father.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
that is ridiculous. Calling you don't want to call your mother or man or dad. You don't want to be calling your child a boy or a girl.
What do you think is the purpose of this?
So, globalism, genderism, nutcases trying to take over a world. They have their own agenda. I don't know what they're up to. Satanism. I don't know what the thing is. But us as a nation, first of all, us as a nation should be fighting this bad. Like, as I said, all those people that walked up for the thing, fair play to them. I probably would have been walking up myself if I'd known about it.
Hard to believe he's in jail for, he's incarcerated for 220 days. That was up to last weekend.
Oh, because he wouldn't call a boy a girl, was there something? Or a girl a boy? Yeah, but that's everyone's prerogative.
And before that, there was never a complaint made about him at the school.
I didn't know that now. Well, no.
Well,
you can't say, you say it in the shop, yes, love. You say, thanks, love. Someone will have you, but I'm not your love.
Oh, no. It's or whatever.
Oh, I love, but you're not my love. I said, what?
Yeah.
That's a saying, that's a love, yeah, love. Okay, look, when the toilets is inside. You know,
hate speech comes in again.
I know, it's so silly. And it's so silly, people, when you say it to them. Lots of people don't know about it. That's the uncanny thing about it. But when you say it, don't be stupid, Philip. You don't have your bender. I say that's what they'll go and bring in. And they'll bring in by finding people. That they try and hold people in the pocket little by little, trying to what we say, mobilise the police or mobilise someone to fine you for doing little things, and you hurt you in the pocket where they do it here and there. And that's where you want that. Then to be I won't say a war, but we could say a war.
Yeah.
A war of the people. A war of people against the government, not against the armies or the police force. It's against our ruling class. Yeah. Our ruling class are putting this on us. And again, I say to all the people in Ireland, they are supposed to be for us. They work for us, to make our generation better, to make our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren feel safe in an Irish environment. I'm proud to be Irish. I'm proud to be seeing Molly Malone and
Dublin's fair say.
You know what I mean? Like the girls up the row, up to all the trouble they got in over that. They're stupid. That's a song we all sing. Like we all supported the Ra years ago. You know what I mean? Because they freed Ireland back in the day, and that was the policy to bring it back. Okay, they had the different policies going forward. Like Sinn Féin have the different policies now. They're going against all the grain that my generation, right, and our own generation, not much younger than me, right, and more people than me, right, and we should be teaching history in school, and the history, and the books that's shown in easels and things, telling kids masturbating at 5 and 6 years of age and all that type of shit. That is ridiculous. But people of my age that don't be listening to the Facebooks and the TikToks and all the kids send them to me, so I see them. Yeah. Right? What you think of that, Philip? What you think of that? Right? And I said, my God, it's terrible. How can our government let this go on? You know what I mean? Right? Like, no harm with fucking friends, gay, or fucking lesbians, lesbian friends, we sit, and all of that, right? I've nothing wrong with that. But they shouldn't, and they don't want, they're thinking the same as me. They don't want pushed down their throat.
Yeah.
I don't want all this. I'm a he today, I'm a she tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm Danielle today, but I'm Bobby tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way. Different days I'm feeling.
I think at the end of the day, what this will create is when the child comes to the stage of, puberty or coming into early adulthood, and they're, all this information is being brought on them from they're bringing into schools now from 8 years old. So this is coming into their minds through the teachers, through the curriculum. From 8, they come to 12, 13, when, body starts to change, and they're, coming into adulthood with a wash of confusion as to what am I this, am I that, am I this, I don't know what way I'm feeling. I think ultimately that's what's going to cause mass confusion at that time of people's life.
That's what it is going to cause.
Where it's very important that kids are structured to know, like, well, a man is a man, a woman is a woman, or if you're gay, then if you don't, that's fine, or you're lesbian, whatever that is. But then you know, you can be.
But if you're being asked that you want to take, if you have to take a drug to feel like a woman, or you have to get something cut off to feel like a woman, right? And they're taking these hormone injections and hormone tablets, helping you change your mind, being pushed on you in an educational type of way. Yeah. That's going to cause so much confusion. Instead of letting a boy be a boy, and like, there's some children even 20 years ago were having children. They were still children themselves. Yes. You know what I mean? And you didn't understand. And they're bringing up a child, saying children at 14, 15 having children. Right? They're only a child themselves. You know what I mean?
Take, for example, this situation, just for an example. Say you have a girl or a boy who is on the fence and not that sure what way they're feeling when they come into early adulthood. And maybe the parent takes a wrong decision and says, take these drugs. And these will give you, say, an estrogen booster or testosterone booster, whatever way it is, to swing them one way or the other. Do you know? And then their body changes as a result of taking those drugs. Yeah. You know, be it estrogen, testosterone, whatever it is. And then they grow another few years. Say they're a girl and they're taking testosterone because they're feeling that way, they're feeling more male or whatever it is. And then when they get on a little bit further, to 16 to 18, then they realise that they didn't make the right decision. And now the consequences of taking those drugs at that age are irreversible.
Well,
imagine that for a situation.
Suicidal for the child or the person.
Yeah.
Well, you see, and there's another person lost to society because of the government again allowing this happening. Our government is saying, but there's some sort of an agenda, right, that's going on. Right, like the Minister of Children is Roger O'Gorman, and he's a gay man. Yeah, as I said earlier, I've nothing against gay men, right? But when they're pushing things down our throat, right? Our Prime Minister, our Taoiseach, is a gay man. Yeah, he doesn't. They don't. I'm not saying they don't, but they don't have the same morals as I have, right? Which they don't. You know what I mean? They like maybe chase boys or I was chasing girls. That's okay. You know what I mean? At the same age, right? Yeah. But that's what happens. Like, but when they're allowing all this, you don't know what you are, but you can be this or you can be that. Where a child coming up, as you said, the confusion of the child. Yeah. But a child will only be confused if he's let being confused. But if the parents only see him for so many hours when he's home from work, or the mother sees him. And the education system is being effed up, right? Yeah. Right, and then they're being taught in school and coming back to mommy, no, we can be what I want. You know what I mean? And to go against the mommy or daddy.
What would kids say to you coming in here now that would be, saying younger? What age do you take kids in here?
We take children in the academy class from 5 years of age up to 10 in the academy class twice a week, right? And we have a good few kids, right? We also have the Monday, Wednesday, Friday kids from 10 years of age to 20, 30 odd years of age.
All right, okay.
6 to 7, 7 to 8.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure you get close to the kids, or you get to know them all very well over the years.
I'm like a counsellor.
Yeah, so you know that, was it? Yeah. So they're coming into you with everything.
With everything. And I mean everything. Yeah. We have some problems here. We've had some problems here. Drug related, mammy related, family related. They'd come here, they'd air their differences. Yeah. Right. Now, I'm on nobody's side. Only the side of righteousness that I think. Yeah. But it's really always the side of the mammy and the daddy that I'll be taking up for. Yeah. Because they're children growing up in that type of world, right? Now, the world is different since you have a phone. And all the stuff that's on the phone, it's even made my world different, even though I can't use it very well. Yeah, yeah. Right? But the thing is, I wouldn't like to be grown up in this area. You know what I mean? I wouldn't like to be grown up in this area. You know, when everyone said, if I had my time over again. Yeah. Right? But this area is strange. It's a strange area where all the information you can get off a computer you carry around in your pocket. You know, you know what I mean? It's like, and you can go on to any area to get wise enough. Yeah. But I still think a child should be brought up as a boy or a girl, right? All the way right up to puberty, and let nature take its course. Don't be pushing nature down our throat. Let nature take its course. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, right, and in a good environment, where the environment in school is trying to twist it all. Yeah. Right, trying to twist it, and they'll say, "We're only learning them."
Like what we see what's happening there now.
Exactly.
Going forward, with other podcasts, or maybe if we're speaking again down the line, you know, I'm gonna get a close education on, this information that's coming out. So I can be very specific about it because, I'm just hearing broad strokes about it from different elements of social media and other friends telling me about it or whatever it is. But, when you have something concrete in front of you of what is actually going on as well, it's nice to be specific.
Well, it's nice to be right now. Of course, when this goes out, we'll be ridiculed by it, saying that we're saying about it.
We're just kind of having a general chat anyway.
That's allowed. They have their own opinions and we have ours.
It's free speech.
That's allowed.
Yeah,
they can say anything they want about me, anything they want about you, right? Because they can, right? Who gives a sugar? The truth is in there somewhere, and let it come out.
Yeah.
The truth is in all that mix, right? But most of the truth is coming not from the government, as he's saying, because they're not making all the thousands of people that marched, like the water charges. The march against all of this what we're speaking about will become bigger than the water charges.
When was the last time, apart from the water charges over the years, what's big protests was on in Dublin when you remember back? Like when you were
the nurses protests. I went on them because the nurses were getting overlooked, and the young doctors were getting overlooked. Right. I went on those. I'm always trying to go, if I have the time, go on the March of the Richness, but I want to know where I'm marching for. Because if I get asked a question. Right, but you could ask me any question of the list you have in there, and I can answer even with one answer. You know what I mean? Because if you're listening, people have to dialogue together. They have to get together. They have to speech. They have to talk together. Like the phone is taking that a lot away from people, but it's also giving it back in a number. It's so comfortable to sit back and give out about Leo Varadkar or me or you or someone else, right? On the phone, sitting in your sitting room, or sitting in front of the fire, sitting in front of the telly, or sitting in your car. Let's put a thing.
Keyboard warriors.
You want to get out and walk. You want to get out and fly your flag and be a number, even if you're only a number, right? And outnumber outnumber for the right reason. Don't go for the wrong reason. Try and understand where I went for this march. I went for the nurses for their quarrel, and the doctors, right? For the water was ridiculous charge. It rains every 3rd day in this country, right? And they're saying the water, and the amount of money that all the directors get in that water thing was unbelievable. They put money, and we already pay water through our taxation on the cards. Where there's loads of them. We're supposed to get the road back that we sold, and it's gone to a teachers' fund in Canada, and they're supposed to all the money that was supposed to come back into our country, the gas, the oil, and when all that trouble was down there, we overlooked it. We took people in Dublin because it wasn't affecting us. It's down the country, but it was affecting the people down the country. It was affecting the fishermen. The fishermen should be up in arms because they having to throw fish back into the sea. Where big massive trawlers all over Europe coming in to rob our fish, to steal our fish from the EU.
You know, I saw a video there the other day where they had some Spanish vessels parked on one of the piers down off the Kerry coast. There's a scheme been going on there for the last couple of years where they've got the Irish fishermen to voluntarily decommission the fleet, to reduce the fleet right down because the fishing rights have been, closed in by the European Commission, which is madness because it's a huge resource that we have across the, it's our biggest resource.
And it's probably tried to pay them off, and the real fishermen wanted to stay there. And it's family, it's generations, of fishermen, the children taking over. They're trying to get rid of all that. They're trying to get rid of all our history, even our fishing history. When we say the Murphys had the thing, the 6 yachts, the 6 fishing boats for this generation of fishery, and they're getting rid of it. And then these big massive trawlers come in, and the foreign thing from the European Union.
Well, they have these super trawlers now, which they let up and down the coast of Ireland. Super trawler just can.
Well, I don't agree with that. They're taking all our fish, where it's 15, 20, 50 generations of family going to live comfortably, keeping their Irish, keeping it nice, and like people getting jobs, and that's generating for different families. I mean.
And balancing with the small, I think with the small fishermen, you have a balance where you're not taking too much out of the
and you have a breathing stock coming back again, and it's rejuvenating and going up. We could talk here.
Look, Phil, we'll wrap it up. I could talk to you for hours. Great crack, and loads of stuff to talk about again going forward. And hopefully we get to do this maybe a few times again in the future, in the near future, hopefully. And didn't even get to really touch the boxing. Well, I'm mad to talk to you about the boxing because I'm a big fan for the boxing as well. But listen, thanks very much.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to talk to you. I can talk to you all day because I'm passionate about our country. Your country, our country. For our kids, our generation of grandchildren and their grandchildren.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see some Irishness brought back into Ireland.
Yeah.
Not get rid of our heritage, our past. I want them to know that the black and tans raped and murdered
The truth.
in Cork.
The truth.
And I want to know the ravished people in Dublin and the British were a shower of bees back in the day that murdered people. Right? Terrible things happened. But I want their kids to know that's not being taught in school anymore.
It's very important to me as well, Phil, to get a connection with you as well, because I know from, I know bits and pieces about you, but I know that you're a pillar of the community, both here in Crumlin and in Drumdrimna. And it's great to get a perspective of somebody that's right in the middle of the heartbeat of this area. So again, thanks very much. And look, we'll see you again.
Thanks very much.